has expired at request of the Secretary and in consultation with the minority. We're going to do 2 more questions and then take a 20-minute break and then reconvene. And I will keep an order of those in the room that are at the time of the break, so that'll be the order when we come back, and I'll announce what time that is when we see when these next 2 individuals are done. So at this point, I'm going to recognize Mr. Johnson from South Dakota, and then in the direction of the minority, Mr. Jackson from Illinois. So Mr. Johnson is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, I feel like we're talking to a member of your team every week on something or other. So I'm going to walk through 6 issues, and then just you can comment on any of them that you like. First off, I want to thank you for working with us to provide some relief to that South Dakota ranching couple, the Mods.
Yeah.
That it should never have gotten to the point it did, and thank you for your team for seeing the wisdom forward, common sense. Number 2, I want to affiliate myself with Mr. Costa's remarks about high-path avian influenza, still a tremendous threat, and as he said, not just to poultry, but also to our herds as well. And then I was grateful to see your 5-pronged plan had vaccines as an important part of it. I think there's been some concern that maybe the priority in USD shifted around a little bit, and so I just want to highlight the incredible work that a number of companies, including MedGene, are doing in developing some really powerful vaccines that I think are the long-term solution to this problem. Not even long-term, I mean just the solution here, I think, sooner than we realize. Number 3, forestry. Mr. Lamalfa said it well. I mean, we've got a lot we need to do out in the forest. I mean, a managed forest is a healthy forest. We have 1 million acres of national forest land in the Black Hills. And it's been a long time since we've been able to hit the data-driven harvest targets. We have had mills close, lots of jobs lost. When we lose that infrastructure, it's almost impossible to ever get it back, which means the forest turns into a tinderbox. I've got confidence in your team. I just think Mr. Schultz, Mr. French, I enjoy working with them. So I just want to thank you and ask you to continue to back their efforts to approach this issue with some real urgency. I think we're making progress, but we got a ways to go yet. Number 4, I want to thank your team for the incredible responsiveness they have shown in working with South Dakota State University in making some alterations to what is now known as the Producers First program. This is going to show us the way forward on some resiliency in how we feed and make sure that the bison and the cattle can get to market, and that nutrition's a key part of what they do, because we still want to discover some research and how to do better. Number 5, I met with a few dozen dairy producers, and ma'am, this is not going to come as any surprise to you. They have a real anxiety in farm labor. And some folks are not sure how they're going to hang on. And they view you as a huge leader. They view you as a critical, I mean, this problem will not get solved without Brooke Rollins, and they believe in you, ma'am. And if there's anything I can do to help in developing solutions, so we can, not just in dairy, of course, this is a bigger problem, but we've got to find a solution. And finally, number 6, and then I'll shut up. Trade, just little old South Dakota, we export almost $6 billion a year overseas in ag. That's $6,000 a year for every single South Dakotan every single year. Clearly, this committee, strong believers in MAP, FMD, and I know you're a strong believer, and I would just ask you to continue to be a strong voice for more trade, which will make America stronger, and I know that's where the administration's headed.
Yeah,
what am I missing, ma'am?
I think you covered it very well. I just want to start with the last one first on the trade. And I'm not sure if you were in the room, Congressman, but the encouragement that I have received just in these first few international trips has been remarkable, in fact, stunning. I think that the world is ready to recalibrate. I think that the president has been such an effective leader on this. I know the uncertain times our producers are feeling. There's no one who's operating more on the margins than our farmers and ranchers. Understand this. The president certainly understands it. But I do believe with every fiber of my being that this era of unlimited or unprecedented prosperity for our ag community is just around the corner. because of these trade renegotiations. I'm just really, really sure of that. I also want to comment on the timber piece of this. I was just in the Oval Office yesterday with the president talking about timber, talking about the firefighting, because they're, as you know, interwoven inextricably. And I think that we're going to have another meeting tomorrow in the Oval Office on the issue. The president has been resolute in the increase of 25% in timber production, which, by the way, that will be the same number we had 30 years ago in 1994. Since then, our entire timber industry, as you know from your state and others, has been decimated. So the focus, the investment, the putting our timber industry back at the front of the line to ensure they're able to do and thrive, but also on the back end to mitigate against more and unnecessary fires, it continues to be a priority of this administration, and I'm really, really proud of that.
With that, Mr. Chairman, the Secretary and I have solved all the problems, and I would yield back.
I think we're done here.
And by the way, you're unflappable. I did not know that my mean comment about Iowa and Jess would be picked up by you. It was mostly for your staff's benefit, but you're unflappable. You kept rolling, so thank you. I yield.
Did.